Happy Halloween from everybody at Close to Home. It is the October block of the month here. This one is called the Flying Dutchman. You may be asking what that has to do with our sea theme. The Flying Dutchman was a ghost ship, so it fits the holiday. It was a ghost ship, a legend from the 1600s about a Dutch flute that was doomed to never make port and was seen as a portent of doom for anybody going around the Horn of Africa there. This is based on a block called the Dutchman's Puzzle, so you can see the windmill in there, and I changed it up a little bit, and this one's going to be a lot of fun. Here are the pieces we need to cut for the block. From the focus fabric, you're going to cut 4 6.5 inch by 3.5 inch rectangles. From accent color number 1, my teal, you're going to cut 2 4 inch by 4 inch pieces. From accent color number 2, that's my white with the blue shells, you're going to cut 4 4 inch by 4 inch pieces. And from the background, you're going to cut 2 4 inch by 4 inch pieces and 8 3.5 inch by 3.5 inch pieces. Take your 4 4 inch accent number 2 squares, again that's the white with the blue shells, and your 8 3.5 inch background squares, and you're going to mark a line from one corner to the other on the back of the fabric. Now we're going to take the 4 inch accent number 2 squares, again that's my white with the blue shells. You're going to pair 2 of them with your 4 inch accent number 1 squares, that's the teal, and 2 of the background squares with the right sides together. And we've done half square triangles before. We know how to do this. Stitch your 1/4 inch on each side of your marked line, cut on the marked line, then press your seams toward the accent number 2 fabric, or open if you prefer. And then you're going to trim your finished squares down to 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches. This will give you 4 of the accent number 2, accent number 1 half square triangle units, and 4 accent number 2 background units. Next we're going to make some flying geese. So you start with one of your 3.5 inch background squares, and you're going to place it on the corner of one of your 6.5 inch by 3.5 inch focus fabric rectangles, just as shown on the screen. You're going to sew on that marked line, trim a 1/4 inch seam, and then you're going to press toward that smaller background triangle, or open if you prefer. Then you place another background square on the other side, just as shown. So on the marked line, trim a 1/4 inch, and press. Then you're going to repeat to make 4 of these flying geese units. Now we're going to put some quadrants together here. So you're going to start by taking one of each of the colors of those half square triangle units we made. You're going to arrange them just like this, and you're going to sew those together, making sure you have 4 of those pieces there. And then that will get attached to our flying geese unit. Again, just as shown on the screen. You're going to sew those together and make 4 of these quadrants. That'll be for our final 4 patch in the block. Then we're just going to put everything together. You're going to assemble the units just as shown, so everything kind of gets a 1/4 turn, so you get that nice windmill shape. You're going to sew those rows together. You're going to sew the top to the bottom, and then we have our Flying Dutchman block. Thank you so much. Everybody have a happy Halloween. The next block will be November 28th. That is the day after Thanksgiving. But so I know that's a busy time for everybody, but remember, you have the whole month afterwards to pick up the next block. And so everybody have a happy Thanksgiving, a happy fall, and we'll see you next month.